That looked pretty, guys.
Always.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, wherever you happen to be, welcome to another edition of the Living World of Darkness, New York by Night. In this scene, we see Frank Green atop of Leonardo Studios, atop the fashion suite as well as designer studio that the dear late Primogen, who was away on business, set up, and one of which the current Primogen maintains for various odd reasons. Perhaps he's still holding out a candle for the Leonardo to come back one of these nights from his fairly important business within the European continent. He has gone ahead and scheduled two different meetings, one of which with Michael Walker for earlier in the evening, and one of which for Ambrosia Smith a little bit later. One he just needs to get in contact with about a potential proposition, and the other one for a proposition.
So which one of us do you want first?
Michael.
Okay.
He'll make his way there. If there's any weapons checking along the way, he'll cooperate fully. He's not plotting anything in particular. He'll be dressed in his usual Bruja uniform, perhaps a bit more conservatively than usual.
Of course, of course. You're escorted in. You have a little bit of a pat down as far as weapons concerned. They simply say, we don't want to confiscate anything. We just want to know that they're there. And after they do a little pat down, the rundown, they simply say, could you wait here for a moment for the good Master Green to see you? At which point, Ambrosia Smith is more than welcome to walk in.
Yeah, she'll walk in, Mad Phil in tow, Mad Phil smoking what at first looks like a cigarette, but later on you can tell by smell isn't, and she's just mumbling about damn men in particular.
They give you the same sort of spiel. They go ahead and escort you into a little bit of a waiting area. They simply say, would you like to declare any weapons at this time? We don't want to take them. We just want to know where they are.
At this point, she looks the person over, and she goes, yes, I have weapons on me. And she goes, I have a small pistol and a butterfly knife.
Fair enough. They go ahead and pat you down anyways, just to confirm the story. They don't take the weapons. They just take note of their being there.
That Phil just kind of pulls his hoodie up. He's got random pistols, knives, etc. hidden all over him.
Very well. And you're led to the same waiting area as Michael Walker. You two have none of which have been called up quite yet, so you're free to go ahead and converse at your leisure.
Hello again, Mr. Walker.
Just a minute.
I take it you're about to get slapped a little bit by the sheriff also, she says, kind of chuckling as she sits down.
He will smile politely, chuckle a little bit, and shrug. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
At this point, she says, stop rolling and wait patiently, as Mad Phil started to pull his Ziploc bag out, mumbles, and then puts it back in his bag.
So hard to find good help these days, am I right?
Oh, Phil has his quirks, but he's been with me for over 30 years. He's known me since I was a mortal.
I see.
And I have to say, he's totally worth knowing if I remember my mortal days correctly. At this point, the guy turns blood red and just, goes to picking at his shoelace.
Michael just kind of looks him up and down and shrugs, as if he does not see the appeal at all.
After a little bit, one of the sweet little ladies, I shouldn't say sweet little ladies, these are Amazonian tall women with proportions that lend themselves to modeling, at least. The tall stature makes it much more obvious how thin they would look on the camera, and with a little bit of Photoshop and a little bit of photo magic, you can definitely see them as the glamour models on the front pages of magazines. But the first person they go ahead and escort happens to be Michael Walker. They simply say, "Would you like to follow us?"
Certainly.
They go ahead and escort you to another room. It seems like a extended wardrobe and other prop shop. And within that room, you see Frank Green there with a desk before him, a few chairs as well, and a bottle of what seems to be Vitae.
Sheriff.
Walker, release it.
You'll do so.
Frank Green goes ahead and breathes in a little bit, breathes out. Walker, I've been following your progress in the city, but tell me, in your own words, what have you accomplished since the last time we've met?
Since the last time we've met, I've been digging into the fire at Ambrosia's place. With little success, my contact's been a little bit difficult to reach. And I've been staking out some territory in Queens to try and get some of the gangs under wrap, pull some domain of my own.
Good, 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 good. It's good that we're extending into the Queens area. Those two particular boroughs haven't been under kindred control in quite a long time. I don't even think since the Sabbat held this city we actually had any idea what was over there. You know, I heard it was some kind of reality devant? Devant? What the hell is a reality devant?
Reality. I'm afraid I don't know. I would ask Dr. Softly. If anyone knows, it would probably be him.
Dr. Softly usually a lot more knowledgeable about these particular things than I am. But in any case, since you're going to be out there anyways, and since you can be of use to me, you already have that kind of rough and tumble nature to you, how would you like to be my deputy? How would you like to be deputized, be a proper hound?
I would be more than happy to do so.
Alright. From now, at least, until I say so, consider yourself a pro tempore hound of mine.
I appreciate it.
Show your skills, show that you can actually control the area, that pro tempore tile will simply disappear.
Understood. Was there anything else, or was that it?
I've gone ahead and brought in Miss Smith this evening. How is she looking at the moment?
Same as always. She brought her ghoul with her, actually.
Phil.
Yeah. Curious company for a Toreador Primogen, if I may speak above my station.
Well, I'll simply say this. We all require our different meat shields and meat heads to make sure that our safety and security are properly taken into account.
Fair enough.
I've also taken pains and met one of your other clansmates apparently operating that area, a Mr. Lineley.
Langley.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Primogen softly mention his name, but I haven't met him myself.
Apparently he's gone and made pains to get a jazz club under his sway. You do well to try and meet up with him.
That's probably for the best. Would you happen to know where the jazz club is?
Frank Green will go ahead and write down an address and pass it over to you. And that's where you can find him.
Right, I'll go see if I can dig him up a little.
Mm-hmm. Have you been apprised about the situation with our neighbors in Staten Island?
Dr. Softly did inform me, yes.
All right, fantastic. Did you have any dealings or talk to anybody who claimed to be an anarch?
I have not.
Fairly well. At least we're
Dr.
not in
Softly
trouble
said,
with the... Sorry, excuse me, go ahead.
Dr. Softly said that our current mission statement is to avoid contact as much as possible and play it along. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is accurate insofar as they maintain Staten Island. We've sort of forfeited that to them simply because we don't have the manpower to take on that borough all by ourselves. However, they set foot in Manhattan, they're dead.
Understood.
All right. I believe you know your P's and Q's apart from your S's and T's.
I would say so.
Now, if you do me the favor and tell Miss Ambrosia Smith to meet me, not here, and on the rooftop.
Certainly. He will stand and nod as he exits. On the way out, he will address Ambrosia. Sheriff's looking for you on the rooftop.
She nods. At this point, Phil goes from looking like a small boy laying in her lap and she was stroking his hair. He sits up and she stands up. She goes, Phil, you can follow, but wait by the entrance to the rooftop. And he kind of nods and runs after her.
And Vega will shake his head as he exits.
Fair enough. You're escorted up to the rooftop by the same particular fashion model. She stops at the entrance to the roof and simply opens it for you. When you enter, or if you enter at least, you'll see a little bit of a rooftop garden, a what do they call it, a glass house as well for maintaining a lot of vegetation during the colder months, as well as an aviary, a bird cage, large bird cage with a lot of different species of animals, some of which you recognize as more predatory, such as the hawk and the falcon. And along the way, you see Frank Green within the greenhouse.
She motions Phil to stop there and wait, and she kind of taps on the doorway of the greenhouse, and she goes, You wanted to speak, Sheriff.
The sheriff doesn't acknowledge your presence. He keeps his shoulder to you as he just goes ahead and presses the button. And on the other side of the glass, you hear a buzz to let you know that the door may or may not be, in fact, unlocked.
She'll shake the door handle, check it to see if it's actually unlocked, and then she'll go in.
You see Frank Green also press another button, and from around you, blinds actually go ahead and extend, fall down, as Frank Green makes sure that this particular meeting area is just a little bit more private. The lights just sort of pop out of existence. The blinds, being what they are, simply blinds, don't immediately mute all the light, just a lot of the light, as you notice that Frank Green has gone ahead and plunged himself into darkness with you.
She actually gets a little paranoid looking, and she goes, Mr. Green, what do you think you're doing?
I should ask you the same question, he says.
At this point, she's crossed her arms, and she's staring him down sternly like, schoolgirl would, and she goes, I am doing nothing but trying to work on rebuilding my clan.
Frank Green goes ahead and turns around, and he's not bothering to hide his glowing red eyes at the moment that he is quite known for, as he just goes ahead and walks in your general direction. Like I said, the blinds aren't completely making this darkness, making the glowing eyes just obviously redundant. But he goes ahead and approaches you and simply says, "Rebuilding the clan." Well, unfortunately, that's not what I heard. I heard from one of your clanmates that you're screwing the both of them.
I haven't screwed any of them.
Then tell me. Mr. Solomon, yes, he's one of your brood. Yes, he came to me, and he told me things. Told me rumors that I already knew. Told me rumors that I didn't know. He told me that he had some recognized domain by the previous Primogen that he found to have lost when you came into the power.
I knew of no domain he owned. I asked him before I went to see the prince, do you have any domain? I was not informed of it. And when I met him with the past permission, I knew of no domain. He did not state any to me or Marquez in front of me.
Quick empathy check.
Yeah, your cams disappeared, by the way. So I don't know what you're rolling.
Oh, okay.
I can see him fine, so I will check the dice rolls for you if you wish.
Thank you.
Fair enough. Spinning willpower, because this is an abysmal roll. Just the one success with the willpower.
What were you rolling for?
Perception empathy to see if this is in fact a true statement.
It is a true statement. As far as she knows, it's true.
Okay, fair enough. You're not trying to be deceptive. Fair enough. Frank Green then goes ahead and yeah, he'll go ahead and take your hand if you're willing to give it.
She gives you her elbow instead, and she goes, now what rumors have you heard? I can clarify them for you.
Very, very well, Frank Green says as he goes ahead and takes her arm and simply escorts her around the now very, very dark greenhouse, his eyes glowing all the red all the while. At the far end, there apparently is some sort of heat lamp, but before you guys reach that heat lamp, he'll simply say, you called me a coward in the middle of court. You see why that wouldn't rub me the right way?
At this point, she smiles very sweetly at you, her typical work smile, and she goes, dear Mr. Green, I was asked what I thought of you by the prince and Dr. Softly. Those were the only people present, and if it got around, I am sorry that I said you were a bit cowardly, but a good man.
So you did, in fact, call me a coward.
Yes, I did.
Rolling self-control.
As you roll that, she's going to state, it is not my place to lie to my fellow kin.
Oh. So you can see that Frank Green is now gripping your arm very, very strongly. It seems like he's deliberately willing himself not to do you any harm or violence. As you can see his eyes and just his physical physique go completely flush with blood as he starts pumping it in all different directions.
Hold
And
on.
he's
I'm going to roll courage real fast. Oh, at this point, this point, she's just like staring you down, and she goes, "I am no coward. If you're going to hit me, and if it will make you feel better, Sheriff, go ahead."
Frank Green will simply say, well, if you insist. He goes ahead and the floor of the greenhouse is actually tiled with different sorts of marble, white, unyielding, very, very cold to the touch. And he simply throws you down to that marble ground.
You're an asshole.
You said, yeah,
I know what I said. Let's see. I don't think I take any damage for that, really.
Nah, this is more for cinematic purposes.
Okay. So at this point, she'll wipe her face. There's a couple of drops of blood because you know how she landed. Sit up and just start to stand back up. She's kicked off her shoes now, so she's not in her like 12-inch platformer golf boots anymore.
Oh, if you try to get up, Frank Green will simply not necessarily pounce on you, but simply force you to the ground, keep you there with his now blood buff strength, just keeping you pinned to the ground. You can kick off your shoes much as you like, but he's making sure to keep face-to-face contact with you. How far do you want this to go?
At this point, she's just glaring up at you, and she kind of goes, "Well, we can continue this brittle attempt at a friendship, or you can fight it out like little schoolyard kids."
I'm a gangrel. I'm a beast. What do you think my preference is going to be?
Sure, your preference would probably be trying to mount every strange animal in town.
Well, if it doesn't hurt you and it makes me feel better.
At this point, she's just laughing. It just kind of shakes her head, and she goes, "What do you want from me, Sheriff?"
What do I want? What do I want? I don't know. I don't know at this moment. When I originally saw you, I just wanted the pleasure of your company. And the pleasure of your various other girls as well, simply for sustenance. And after the Red Elysium, I simply wanted to enjoy your company simply for you to owe me something. Just for a debt. And now that you've pissed me off and royally screwed me in front of the court, in front of everybody, and been called out for it, I think I want a pound of flesh.
She kind of gives you a look, and she goes, "What do you mean by a pound of flesh? What offering could I give you? I could send some of my ghouls to live with you if you want. I have too much to do with apparently someone who told me they were going to help me and my clan, undermining my attempts at beating all of this and getting some respect for my people rebuilt and the Camarilla reinstilled, but no, apparently I'm screwed over as much as you."
Well, let's try to help each other. Eh? Let's try to help each other. As I understand it, Marquez left a few business documents that sort of fell under your care. Is that correct?
I gave them to Dr. Softly along with the laptop.
Was that everything?
That was everything. You could roll to see if she's lying or not.
Yeah, we'll try to do so. Just the one success.
You can tell she's holding something back, but as far as you know, she's telling the truth.
Then Frank Green will simply repeat, so when Mr. Solomon told me that he didn't have any access to Marquez's old records, even though he and Dr. Softly have been working on this project together, are you saying that he was lying?
I don't know. I gave everything I had from Marquez's office to Dr. Softly and the Prince.
So everything. Everything about Marquez.
She kind of takes a deep breath and she goes, everything of value, including the letter I threatened him through.
And the business documents?
Even the business documents.
Even the letters from his friend?
I found no letters like that.
Frank Green will actually make the effort to inhale and exhale as well as he simply goes ahead and strokes your cheek with the bit of his fingers. Brosia, Brosia, Brosia. I'm sorry. If that's everything, I can't really help you.
She shrugs. She goes, I figured you wouldn't. I'm not used to men being able to help or protect me.
Then how do you get on these nights?
Get on these nights. I work.
And what is your particular profession?
I'm a musician and Primogen.
Well, you're right on one of those titles at least.
She just kind of shrugs and she goes, think what you will.
Do you want to keep that title?
I'm not sure. I like the position. I like being able to try to work for and help my clan, but if they're not willing to work and help me establish us, why should I represent two men who apparently are spreading rumors about me and trying to undermine me?
Very well, very well. So you're stepping down, I take it? Well, that would be just a terrible thing. This is the beginning of what was going to be a very, very promising career, I take it.
I'm not stepping down yet. I want to make sure what you're telling me is how it sounds. For all I know, you're just playing politics right now. I mean, after all, we have no souls or hearts. Why should we care about the other's emotions?
We care when it makes them very, very easily manipulative.
At this point, she's going to try and see if she can sit up any.
He'll let you go ahead and sit up at a 45 degrees before just gently persuading you with his strength to just go back down.
She kind of gives you a look, and she's like, can I please sit up a little more comfortably to talk to you, Sheriff?
But I like you under me.
Hold on a moment. I need to roll self-control. Ow. How do you have her pinned?
I have you pinned with one arm against your shoulder downwards.
So I could move my hands if I wanted.
Oh, yeah, sure. Your legs, however, are pinned.
Yeah, she's going to slap you.
Okay, fair enough.
She goes, I am a lady, Mr. Green, so do not speak to me as if I was otherwise.
The difference between a lady in the castle and a lady on the streets is where she makes her bedding.
She gives you another stern look, and she goes, I am a lady in my own right of neither position, and I do not like men speaking of doing anything with me.
Fair enough. I'll give you a choice. How about that? A choice that seems like a choice but isn't really a choice.
What's the choice?
Frank Green actually goes ahead and lifts himself off of you, off of the cold tile floor of the greenhouse, and will actually go ahead and take pains to slip on his wraparound sunglasses to make sure that glowing eye is no longer in effect. And he simply says, "You can leave here, and your political career can be completely ruined, or you can send your dog away, stay the night here with me, and we can enjoy just a fine evening. Because at the end of the night, that's all I want, your hospitality."
She's kind of looking you over. She looks like she's thinking. She's taking her jacket off, and you notice she still has the falcon tattoo as she's leaned forward thinking. Perception. And, yeah, just perception to figure out. She's trying to read your body and figure out exactly what you're asking for. Which probably, that's a fail there.
Actually, I see 2 7s and a 3.
Yeah. So at this point, she'll just stand up, take her jacket, and she goes, "I'll stay the night, but Phil is also."
I'll have Phil arrange in the playroom, and he can take whatever toys he wants, and I'll even go ahead and introduce him to well, Miss Ontario. Miss Ontario is Latina.
Hold on a moment. Do. You're an asshole. You see, she goes for a moment, and she looks very angry, and then her face goes stone cold, and she goes, "No, women. He can play with himself if he needs that kind of release."
Okay, fair enough. That's just more people to that we can enjoy. Let me ask you, are you hungry?
No.
Well, I am. With that, Frank Green will simply go ahead and press another button, and the blinds just all flip up, letting the night air, or I should say the night light, which is just basically all the reflections of all the different street lights, flood into the greenhouse yet again. And simply say, "Well, shall we then?"
If we must. And she'll follow him.
Fair enough.
So, I take it Michael Walker has left the building.
Yes, he has.
So then I guess we'll leave off with Ambrosia Smith and Mad Phil spending the night with the sheriff.
And all the terrible, terrible things that go along with it.
And he thinks.
Scandalous.
She might feed with it, but Ambrosia Smith doesn't actually have sex, so. And scene's over, people. Goodbye, viewers. Get the hell off my video.